understand what I go through. Underdiagnosed for 20 years, they never broke through. You ever been in such a fog you don't know you? Never being able to do the shit you supposed to? I wouldn't wish it on anyone that I'm close to. Wouldn't wish it on anybody that I'm opposed to. There's not an accurate diagnosis to show you. Basic neurobiology isn't close to. I'm watching life as a spectator. I can't help myself even though I possess data. It's not a part of my spirit to want to test nature. You think you know what I'm feeling, cousin, then let's wager. I have trouble retaining new information. Familiar scenes start to look foreign to realization. Everybody tired of being patient. Mama wonder why her baby crying in the basement. Constant rumination just exacerbates it, to the point where I can't even barely narrate it. I've had doctors tell me that my mind is fascinating, but they can tell me why the sickness has been activated. But I don't wanna be dead. Dead don't work. Sleep the cousin of death. The bed don't work. Maybe I'd rather be dead. Dead don't hurt. Realization of an inherent emptiness. Maybe that's another sin for the pessimist. Possibly I am a jinn, we're the exorcist. I've fallen cause I've been on the precipice. Maybe it's my mama's possible regret. Maybe it's a neurological neglect. Maybe it's the reason why I water wet. The angular gyrus and where the frontal lobe connect. But maybe I'm being too complicated for you. Maybe I should just be calm and explain it to you. The psychiatrists thinking they can fool you. Paxil, Zoloft, it's just wasteful to you. I tried meditation, try to sit in silence, but how the fuck that help a neurochemical imbalance? Why would you tell a person that they were childish without an understanding of the pain that they surrounded? I always feel foggy somatic detachment. It's like my body isn't connected to actions. It destroys everything that's affected the fragments. I don't have nothing but senses and sadness, yeah.
Salute, MobTube. How's everybody doing today? Alex, 1999. Here's to Wreckham Wednesday. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that very much. And that's a good name, actually. I never thought about that. I hope I didn't disappoint you, though. This show is going to be about addiction and recovery. But later show, if I do a later show, which you know I will, we can call that Wreckham Wednesday, without a doubt, because I got some people to wreck. I'm going to tell you what made me do this show spur of the moment. And I know I say this all the time, I know, but I mean it every time I say it. I wasn't going to do a show because I told you last night, the addiction and recovery thing, you know me, I want every show to be good. And sometimes I just don't have that much to talk about, so I feel like I'm forcing it. So today I probably wasn't going to do an addiction and recovery show. Plus, I woke up late as shit. I'm having trouble getting up lately. I got to stop going to bed so late, guys. It's becoming a problem. I waste too much of my day, and I don't like that. I like to enjoy my days. It was nice because the thing about nighttime is you're not being bothered at night. That's what I like. I actually finally have time to think. But I'm going to bed too late. And I got stuff I got stuff that I have to do today that I still didn't get to yet. And I'd like to make it out while the sun is still out, but who knows? Anyway, point is, I wasn't going to do an addiction and recovery show, but I just didn't feel right about it. I didn't. I feel like you guys kind of depend on me to some extent, and I didn't want to leave you hanging. So I don't know how long this show will be, but I'll do my best for you guys off the top of my head, all right? That's why I scheduled it literally minutes before I started it, because I just decided to actually do one. Miss Can't Be Wrong, Hervaven Gill, Joe Root, War. Yeah, me too, miss. I just got to be careful. Yeah, I'm doing it a little too much. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I've had a video monetized in March, as a matter of fact. But I'll tell you what, my man, hold on. What's up, Dave, Edward Everett, Michael Hensley? We love you too. Sven Larson. Let me get to my man here. Love for Steel. Christopher Capello. How you doing, my friend? Everybody subscribe to his channel or else. Chris, please drop your link. Oh, okay. I got you. All right. There you go. That's my man right there. That's Facts featuring Magelio. Beat Bronx. Bronx. Stop it. It's my highlight impression in case anybody don't know. I think on the last Addiction and Recovery show, or one of the last, no, maybe one of the shows after that, the regular shows. One of the regular shows. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of texts. It's my day. Every day. Oh. Anyway, That's Facts featuring Magelio said, why don't you play Vinny Paz, Happiness is Just a Word, on the next Addiction and Recovery show? And I didn't forget you, Magelio. I did not forget you. It's funny, when you said that, I couldn't remember what song you were talking about. And then I've had that song forever in my fucking phone. I just didn't remember the title. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a great song. Excellent fucking suggestion. So I played it for you. And it is a good song for addiction and recovery. Miss Charlie Steen. I already shouted out Alex. Thank you again for that. JFid. BB from VA. What up? What up? John DeLong. Brian Miller. Oh, is that right? I didn't know those little rock facts. Thanks for letting us know. Well, I hope so, Miss Can't Be Wrong. And that's why I'm on, because I swear to you on everything holy. Or, something that I care about. Nothing holy. It's beautiful out right now. It's only 48 degrees, but it's nice and sunny. And I want to be out there so bad, but I can't do it. I got to get this done first, or it'll eat away at me. Thank you, Pete the Killer. Richie B. Sewer Pipe Casso. Wow. Interesting name. That's a new one. Cynthia Lindsay, if you're new, welcome. Are you the person they were telling me about that does addiction and recovery stuff too, or am I thinking of someone else? Paul Atkinson, Yo, FBS, have you abused Josie today? If not, pull your effing finger out. No, but later I will. And it's funny you say that, because I did tell you guys to remind me, and I woke up to a message from War, and it said, it was my daily reminder. I asked you guys to remind me daily to abuse Josie. And let me see what it says. Rise and shine, champ. There's a drunken hooah pig slut to destroy. So yes, I will get to that later, I promise. Thank you, Mob Rats Exposed as a racist and a fat rat. I appreciate that. Oh, genealogist. Word? Crazy shit. That's what's up. Glad to have you here. So, guys, all right, listen, I'm telling you, First of all, let me explain to anybody who's new here. I am not in any way, shape, or form a drug and alcohol counselor. I am not in any way, shape, or form somebody who has an education in addiction and recovery. I am simply a person who is in recovery. And this is for the new people, guys. I know everybody else knows this, and there might not be that many new people, but even if there's only one, right? I was severely addicted to cocaine and alcohol on and off since I was, well, alcohol probably 16, cocaine probably 18, 19, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Severely addicted, on and off. I had years of sobriety in between long bouts of severe addiction. And I basically did major irreversible damage to my heart. Well, some of it was reversible, like my ejection fraction's back up, which is a good thing. I'm a very, very lucky man. But you know, I did a lot of damage to my health and my life in general. I mean, the years that were wasted due to my addiction issues. It's a crying shame, honestly. It's if I could go back and change things, I certainly would, but you can't. That's what we got to deal with when we're in recovery. We have to look back on all those years and say, well, they're gone. What can you do? You can only make the years in the future better. So that's my goal, is to make every year better till the day I die, whenever that may be. It might be next year, it might be 50 years from now, it might be today. You never know. I have been sober just about 45 months. I guess the 21st will be 45 months. And it'll soon be 4 years sober. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah, Kevin, I know. I just saw your messages. It's all good. We'll figure it out. So anyway, thank you, JFit. Thank you very much. And I'm very proud and grateful to have you here with us. Yeah, there's no reason I should be walking the earth. That's just a fact. I talk to doctors till this day who are in shock. So I don't know why. You know, I'm an atheist. I do not believe in God or miracles or any of that other horse shit. I simply believe in myself, maybe the power of the universe, and luck. Just plain old luck. Oh, and of course, science and modern medicine. Because let's face it, that's what's keeping any of us survivors alive. You know what I'm saying? Survivors of anything. So, you know, I come on here. It was like once I got clean and sober, I started talking about my wife, who, if you don't know, I actually met in rehab. Once I finally went to rehab for the first time in my life in 2019, she was the nurse there. We started seeing each other after I left rehab, fell in love, and got married. And here we are today. But me and her started talking about a YouTube channel not long after we got together. And all I had for an idea really was my DJ stuff. You know, I'm a DJ. I'm pretty good at what I do on turntables or a controller. You know what I mean? I've been a hip hop DJ basically since I was 14 years old. And yes, I actually worked as a DJ for 7 years. I don't do it anymore. I'm just a bedroom DJ now. There's my equipment back there, and I just mess around to have fun and make little videos. But anyway, that's the only idea I had. And then I thought about it one day, and I said, wow, you know what, Shanna? You have a lot of experience working in drug and alcohol rehab facilities, and I have a lot of experience with addiction. You know what I'm saying? Being an addict. So maybe we could start doing YouTube shows about addiction and recovery. Well, we never got around to it until I came up with this other idea for this MobTube bullshit. And once I saw that I had some subscribers, I said, here we go. Now we can do it. So we started doing addiction and recovery shows. Me and my wife were doing them together. Now at this point, I basically do them alone. Every now and then, Shanna will pop on and talk to you guys as well. But this is what I do now. So I don't always have an idea for what to talk about because, like I said, all I have is my own stories and my own experiences. I was never somebody who attended AA. I only went to AA meetings to speak at them. I did not, I didn't sit in a chair and get up and share and all that stuff. I went to them specifically to speak at them. And the reason for that is I myself am not a believer in AA for the most part. And I believe, because I believe a recruitment tool for the church, so to speak. It's a Christian based organization. It was never something I was interested in. I did attend some refuge meetings and stuff like that in rehab. I did a lot of different type of group therapies and shit like that, one-on-one drug and alcohol counseling, all that good shit. I did IOP a couple of times. But I just don't know. Like a drug and alcohol counselor could come on here twice a week, every week for years, and have a new subject on addiction and recovery or within addiction and recovery to talk to you about. I don't have that. So I've told most of my stories, you know what I mean? And maybe someday I'll tell them again, but I don't want to bore the people who have already heard them. So my only idea is now, if I don't have something specific in mind, like every now and then I'll have a dream or a series of dreams, something like that. I'll be having a bad day where I'm just, you know, dwelling, I guess you can say, on the past, all the mistakes I made, the years I've wasted. And I'll come on and talk about that stuff. Every now and then I have somebody share, but it's not often. I've only had, Jesus, probably 3 or 4 people share since I've been doing these shows. Hopefully I can get more. I would like to. And that's what I'm hoping now. I'm hoping that people will start sharing. I asked that on the last Addiction and Recovery show. I understand completely why some people don't want to. Especially considering the way we get abused on here just for being honest about ourselves. But also, people might have jobs and family situations, relationships where they don't want to be on YouTube telling their story. But like I said, you can do it with an avatar up, your voice only, and not tell anybody your name or anything else if you'd like. So I will drop the link now and see if anybody would like to jump on and share. Anyone, if you have any experience with drug and alcohol addiction, if you're currently struggling with drug and alcohol addiction, or if you're in recovery, please come tell us your story. If not, I'll figure out something to talk about, because I do have something in mind. I've read a lot about it. I wonder if the drugs permanently impair that part of the brain, and that's why the dreams that's why the dreams. I've heard several recovering addicts talk about the dreams. My brother does. Oh yeah, for sure. I told you guys that the dreams with me are constant. Now the first year or so, at least in my situation, every time I've gotten clean and sober, I'd say the first 6 months, the first year, it's almost nightly. Those dreams of relapse. And I told you, my dreams used to be that I'm gonna give you a couple of them. There's one I don't think I ever told you about. You ready? So, as you guys know, as a kid, I lived in New York, right? I still, till this day, have this one dream where I'm in New York City. Sometimes I'm in Brooklyn, sometimes I'm in Manhattan, sometimes I'm in one of the boroughs, whatever. And I'm leaving New York, and I'm on the Verrazano. And the Verrazano turns into like a roller coaster, like a loop-de-loop. You know what I'm saying? And it takes me right back to New York. You know what I'm saying? I think it's no, maybe not the Verrazano. I don't remember exactly what bridge it was. But yeah. So I'm always on a bridge, whichever bridge it may be. I'm leaving New York, and the bridge, has a big loop in it, and it takes me right back into New York. Now, I don't know why New York. I have no fucking idea. And I will say this. Sometimes there is something that happens sometimes. Sometimes I fall off the bridge into the water, which is, you don't want to fall into that water. And that makes sense because my other dreams are water dreams, where I'm either on a boat or on a bridge or something where I might be falling. You know what I mean? I'll be hanging onto the side of a boat, and that's pretty easily figured out. I mean, psychologically, the water represents. I had a psychiatrist tell me, or a psychologist. I forget which one. I got to be very careful what I say. People hang on to my every word. Uh, I the water represents alcohol. Pretty simple, and you're hanging onto the boat or the bridge or whatever it may be for dear life. Yeah, the George Washington Bridge, most likely. I'm afraid to say anything any fucking more because, God forbid, at one point I might have mistaken it for a different bridge. I don't know. I don't know what could happen. You know what I'm saying? The Cane Shades could make a whole season of novellas around it. You gotta be very, very careful. Point is, it was a fucking bridge in New York. And I was leaving New York. So most likely it was the fucking George Washington Bridge. Okay. So anyway. And but the New York dreams with the bridge, that's pretty fucking weird. I still can't figure that out why, unless that's just a dream that has nothing to do with addiction and recovery. If it has nothing to do with addiction, period, I don't know. I just assume it is somehow psychologically related to that, simply because it's the only other strange type of dream I really have, where I'm constantly going backwards or falling off something, or in a situation where I'm taken back to something I fear, something like that. I just assume it is. But the I'll tell you what, the boat dreams and shit, I've been having those since the first time I got clean and sober in the year 2000. No. The year 1999, because after I had the seizure, in sometime in the summer of 99. And then I went to, immediately after spending a lot of time in the hospital, I went to IOP and shit. And I got clean and sober, and I started having those fucking dreams, and every time I have a real bad bout with addiction and I fucking wind up getting clean and sober, I have those dreams again, and I still have them till this day. So anyway, that's some of the stuff I'll talk about every now and then with these shows. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Like, unless I already have a topic in mind, maybe, like I said, it's a day where I had some of those dreams and I'll just come on and discuss them. Let me read some comments. Yes, this white boy can scratch his ass off. Yes, I can. And not my actual ass. He's talking about records. Benny D over FBS, what's up? You're doing good because you have been committed to your sobriety, even though all the dealings with all these scumbags on YouTube. Thank you, bro. I miss Shanna coming on and doing shows, but I get it. Not worth the harassment at all. Nah, the animals on the other side, especially that fucking animal, that horse pig bitch NB in Patch Hog. She started just abusing my wife for no reason, to no end. Even taking videos where my wife spoke about being sexually assaulted as a teenager, and being a single mother and raising kids on her own. My wife was doing that on her own channel just to help single moms and women who have dealt with the same types of horrible experiences. And they attacked my wife viciously, led by that horse-faced pig in Patch Hog. That's not the only reason she hasn't come on anymore, but of course that's part of it. And that's not her choice at all. Unfortunately, it's my choice, because I don't want to see her go through that. You know what I'm saying? Even though she could give a fuck less. I do. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons Shanna doesn't really come on much anymore. I believe each person has his or her own path to recovery, but in rehab, attending meetings, be at rehab, attending meetings, going to church, etc., whatever helps them. Oh yeah, without a doubt. And by the way, that thing I was just talking about with them attacking Shanna, I'm going to get to that at one point in the show, because one thing I do want to talk about is, what I'm getting into, because of all this shit that goes on here, and that these people's obsession with me this nonstop obsession with everything I do, from my appearance to my tattoos to my shirts to my jewelry to you fucking name it. Um, what I started doing is looking into the psychology of specifically haters and trolls. Okay, I used to hate the term haters. I thought it was so corny, but these really are a segment of, I guess I almost want to say the human population, because I'm sure, no matter what culture, no matter what country, no matter where you are, there's haters amongst human beings. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it goes on in the animal world too, the animal kingdom. Who the fuck knows? You know what I'm saying? But um, I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that I've been learning. It's very interesting. And most of it, we already kind of knew. But some of it is like, wow, what they're saying really does make sense. And this goes back to like some dickhead that was on the show with me the other night, and I've been talking about for the last couple of days. It goes back to people like him, and of course, and he's abroad, but actual women, like, well, NB's a horse, so Josie's a transsexual, so transgender, whatever. I don't even know the difference. Uh, I'm sure there's women that hate on me too. I'm just not sure yet. But the dudes that hate on me are certainly like women. Look at my man right here, Ritzy, 6948. Thank you so much, bro. Did you send a message? Sorry I haven't been around lately. Keep up the good work. It's all good, man. Thank you for that. That means a lot to me. Let me see. Oh yeah, no. I can understand that. Yeah, I'm sure that haunts people. Yeah, I have dreams with cocaine where I'm in my old Connect's house. He used to serve everybody from the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And I used to hang out at his shit too, but he always had his stuff in the kitchen. So whether I was grabbing, a quarter ounce or 2 ounces, he always had his shit behind the microwave, and he would stand there and put the shit on top of the microwave, chop it up, bag it, whatever. And what I would always do, because I was a drug dealer and a user, is and this is where users actually have a slight advantage over just plain dealers, just a tiny one. It could also be a major drawback, is I would taste it or do a bump right there in the kitchen. I have dreams where I'm doing that all the time, and then I wake up and it takes me a few minutes to realize that was just a dream. I'm terrified. I think I fucking relapsed when I wake up. JFid, FBS, you have to forgive yourself. You can't drag it behind you like a can on a string. You were ill. We don't expect other ill people to do that. Always forward, chest out, head high. Oh, no, I know. Thank you for the words of wisdom, JFid. You're exactly right. And that goes for all of you, too. We all have to learn to forgive ourselves and let go of the past. It's very hard, though, because I had personal relationships that I did major damage to, relationships I care a lot about that still aren't repaired till this day. So it's very, very hard for me, but I do my best. I have this ability sometimes, not always. So yeah, I know, Scott Salem. I know. Um, I have this ability sometimes to compartmentalize and just stay in a happy mood, but not always. That's for goddamn sure. Seems like your mind telling you that you're afraid of losing control. Oh yeah. Without a doubt. Scott Salem, this is Howard Stern's engineer. No, I'm fully aware, bro. I don't always go that way. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, the regular route I go, I don't go that way. I used to booze to forget the dreams and not have to deal with people. My life was unmanageable. Oh. Sorry, guys. I kicked myself off of StreamYard again. Um, Let me read that again. I used to booze to forget the dreams and not have to deal with people. My life was unmanageable. Me too. Yeah, yeah. I told you I would have to drink myself to sleep in general. You know what I mean? Just to get to fucking sleep. That's when it got really bad, actually. And I've told most of you, most of you have heard this story before, but when it got really bad for me, I was diagnosed with depression when I was maybe 18. Now, I drank since 16, but I didn't become heavily addicted until I would drink regularly, like most teenagers. But around 18 or so, I got diagnosed with clinical depression, and it was so fucking bad. I couldn't even get out of bed. And then when I did, I had all types of weird symptoms, tunnel vision, and it's amazing what clinical depression can do to you. Like your mind really does control everything else. You know what I mean? Like it can make you experience all types of physical symptoms. But at night, I would get this terrible anxiety, and I couldn't sleep. You know what I'm saying? And because because I couldn't sleep, obviously, or even if it wasn't sleep necessarily, even if it was just to make these, because I would start, my mind would go crazy, and I would think all these things are happening to me. You know what I'm saying? And my mom couldn't even calm me down. Like I would tell her I'm going blind or I got a tumor or some shit, and I would go into complete panic mode. And I would drink to make that. The only thing that would make it better is drinking. You know what I'm saying? So I would do that. But then, of course, just to sleep, you know what I mean? And actually sleep through the night, especially when the cocaine came into play, you know what I'm saying? You can't. I mean, anybody who knows, back then, I wasn't any type of major drug dealer. There was times when I'd run out of cocaine, you know what I'm saying? And I would I would run out and it would be a fucking living nightmare. You guys, I'm sure many of you know what it's like. And if you don't have alcohol or benzos or something, you're not going to sleep. Fuck, I just poured my heart out and the comment was too long. Oh, shit, Paul. I'm sorry to hear. Did you get any of it in? Let me see. No, I don't see you. You value being sober, so the little demons creep in your thoughts, your dreams. Oh, creeping through your dream. What the fuck? I'm reading like Lee Cole. You value being sober, so the little demons creep in through your dreams. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, you're terrified of relapse. The kind easy to use alcohol to relax. Work during week just to wait until weekend and then get drunk. Yep. Ritzy, hope all is well. FBS, great show, dude. Thank you, bro, and thank you for the donation. Just Jules, how the fuck are you? Good to see you. Just Jules, can you tell me, please, and just put it, like, write it out in the comments so I don't remember. Like, if you say yes or no when I get to the comment in 10 minutes, I'll have forgotten what I asked you. Did you make that thumbnail for that? What is that? The stream you had up. Look behind you. I'm still here. Did you make that thumbnail? I gotta ask because that is the dopest thumbnail I've ever seen in my fucking life. So I have to ask. Hope everyone reaches 100% health, happiness at same point in their lives. Yeah, me too. Anyone who attacks a victim is awful beyond words. This show can help people who suffer. I hope so. I hope it can, and I hope it does. And yes, anyone who attacks a victim is awful beyond words. Of course they are. Yeah, yeah. But, listen, according to them, they're the good guys. We're the bad guys, Doesn't matter. I'll get into that towards the end. Kevin, bro, it's envy when it comes to you. Jealousy is so easy to see with these lowlifes. Boy, is it. You ain't kidding. It's it's oozing out of them. You know what I mean? Like through their pores. You could just see the fucking jealousy. And I'm going to tell you about a community post I put up last night. For those of you who haven't seen it, let me see. What did I put up last night? You will never find a hater who is doing better than you. This is a quote. It's not possible. Confident creators focus on their craft, not in trying to tear others down. Haters despise themselves because they are scared that no matter how hard they work, they can never achieve what you have, and that's why they take their anger out on you. Does that not describe everybody on the other side, from fucking NB to this jerk off that we've been talking about the last couple of days? Yeah, if you listen to, and I want to get off the addiction and recovery thing, but if you listen to most of my haters, you will, at one point, they will either slip or even say it deliberately, that the reason they hate me is because I do so well on here monetarily. You know what I'm saying? Benny D over. Whoever is new, what FBS is saying about how they attacked his beautiful wife is actually downplaying how evil they were, specifically NB. NB is filled with evil and jealousy. Yes, she is. And well, let me watch what I say. I deal with a lot of self-hatred in my life. Oh, I think we all do, Brian. I fucking, guys, I have days where you guys have seen me. You guys have seen me. Paulie Walnuts, what does that even mean, bro? Anyway, I have days where, like, man, I want to fucking jump off a fucking bridge. You know what I mean? It's like, even though in my dreams I'm terrified of that. Yeah, there's bad days, man. I have them all the time, and I'll just wake up like that, and there's nothing I can do to snap out of it. I have this thing where I dwell on there's certain things that happen during certain relationships and events that took place that I can never get into on here, because I've learned that I just can't be that honest and get that, in depth, or be that thorough in my storytelling. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's things that I'll just wake up dwelling on, or just, randomly throughout the day will hit me, and I won't be able to get off it. And then that event will take me to another event, to another event, to another event, and it's like, before you know it, you're regretting things you did 20 fucking years ago, and that you could never do anything to take back, and things that you're pretty sure the people involved aren't even mad at you for, but you can't forgive yourself for it. You know what I mean? That's what I go through on a regular basis, and I'm sure most recovering addicts do, and a lot of people in general, even if they weren't addicted. We've all made mistakes. Ryan, FBS described cocaine withdrawal for us. Sounds awful, man. Glad you're healthy and happy. Thank you, Ryan. I'm not sure if you're being serious. There is no withdrawal to cocaine. Mental, like cravings and stuff. And it might change your brain chemistry for a while. So you're in a depression, or you're having a lot of anxiety. But there's no, like, when you see New Jack City, when Pookie is trying to kick the crack, and he's in the room shaking and sweating and crying, and that's not real. That's not real. That's more like alcohol or heroin withdrawal. Cocaine, whether it's powder or crack form, there is no physical withdrawal, none whatsoever, zero. You don't get the shakes, you don't get headaches, you don't get. At least I didn't, and I don't know anybody who has. It's all mental addiction, so it's a lot easier to kick. At least in my opinion. Cocaine, it has to be a lot easier to kick than heroin, and I know for a fact it was a lot easier to kick than alcohol. Once I had gotten away from it for a while and I wasn't drinking anymore, I haven't had much of a desire. Don't get me wrong. There's days where I wish I had a giant bag of cocaine that I could just dive into head first and just go, and that would probably be my last breath. You know what I mean? But I do fantasize about that from time to time. But let me tell you what I also do. I drive through York City damn near every fucking day at some point. And that's where all my business was done and all my connects are till this day. The same connects I had back then, most of them are still on the street. And every now and then I even run into one of them. And it never even occurs to me then to get a bag of Coke, you know what I mean, and get high. I'll tell you what does occur to me from time to time: to get a giant bag of Coke, break it up, cut it, bag it, and sell it. But not using it. My older has lost all connections to the family since my mother has passed. He started drinking. That's a shame. That's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that. That's what happens sometimes. Your older brother, yeah, that's what happens sometimes. Brian Miller, you can hate you, hun. Forgive yourself. Maybe you meant to say can't. I'm not sure. Forgive yourself. You aren't living that life anymore. Yeah, we got to at least try to forgive ourselves. And just be happy that we're doing better. Mini 560, thanks, but I feel worse for his children. They are older, but he used to be so close to them. He is missing so much. Well, all you could do, Minnie, unfortunately, is hope that he gets better and he's back in their lives. You know what I mean? Um, but unfortunately, the time he's missing and all the events and whatever else he might be missing as far as his children and other family members, he'll never be able to get that back. And that's where the regret comes in. You know what I mean? And he'll have to live with that the rest of his life. But hopefully, he'll use that regret and that pain to keep himself clean and sober. And then maybe, even though he can't go back in time and get to do all those things he missed, he can make it so that he never misses anything else again, ever again in the future until the day he dies. It is very sad, though. Brian Miller, I wasted 22 years of my life I can't get back. Still, but I am learning forgiveness and especially to forgive myself. You have to. Staring at the ceiling and watching every hour go by, knowing you need to be up shortly for work. That's the worst, and it's even worse when your dumbass does it again and again. Well, that's what the definition of insanity. You know what I'm saying? It comes along with addiction. Because I truly believe when you're severely addicted to something, you are absolutely insane. You know what I mean? And the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And we've all been there, Benny, at least a lot of us, I know what that's like, bro. It's a fucking nightmare. I'm going to give you an example. There was something terrible that took place in my family. I'll never get into exactly what it is. I've told this story. People don't believe me. I said I was, it involved, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I was literally waiting outside in my yard with the, gun or two guns. I don't remember. Again, I got to be so fucking careful. Uh, and some about a fifth of vodka, rum, whatever it was, and um, like an ounce of cocaine or something. And I was waiting, hoping that a motherfucker would come around for, I don't know. I thought maybe lightning would strike twice. I don't know. And I went crazy that night, and I may have shot at a van and maybe into a crowd at one point. A long story. Anyway, the next morning, my daughter was having like a field trip. Not really. It wasn't a field trip. It was all the parents. I think it was the end of the year. It might have even been Jesus Christ. I don't know if it was kindergarten. I think it was a little later than that. I don't exactly remember. But they were having a trip. School had just ended, and all the parents were taking all the kids to Dutch Wonderland. Okay. And I knew that we had to leave at like 9 a.m. And after all this shit just went on in the yard and out back, on Union Street and on Cottage Hill Road and all, you know what I'm saying? I went inside and I laid on the floor of the living room. I wouldn't go up to bed because I was convinced that I needed to be downstairs in case anybody tried to break in, whatever. So I just laid down there, and I knew there was no sleeping, but I was still drinking and I was still doing coke, but not just the coke and alcohol. I was so hyped up, and anyway, I had to go. I wasn't going to miss it, and we went to Dutch Wonderland. Of course, I had my daughter's mom drive. And I can't even imagine, like, you guys know, like, when you're coming off that stuff, especially if you're an alcoholic and now you can't drink for at least several hours, and you're coming off the cocaine and you're in the hot sun and you're fucking trying to be as attentive as possible to your, you know, girlfriend and kid or wife and kid, whatever it is. It was a terrible day, even though it should have been an amazing day with my family. It was a terrible fucking day. You haven't seen what, Miss Campion? You know how it is. I already forgot. Oh, the community post, maybe? My doctor told me years ago, surround yourself with kind people only. Best advice ever. Oh, it is. It is. It truly is. It's the power of positive, or the law of attraction and stuff. And what's the other one? I can't seem to remember it now. But you know, you get the point. Like, not so much the law of attraction, but the power of positivity and shit. The law of the universe, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't remember. But you know what I'm saying. If you're around positive people, positive things will happen. If you're a positive person, you'll attract positive people. Jesus fuck, I can't remember shit. But yeah, it's true. It's true. If you hang around negative motherfuckers, okay, who are doing bad or who are just negative in general, and you're surrounded by that energy, it'll just bring more and more of that to you, and it'll turn you into the same type of person. It's not good. Being serious, I'm sorry if I came off joking. I've never done coke in my life. Oh, no. That's why I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you knew when you were just saying that or no. It's understandable. A lot of people think that. They think that cocaine, whether powder or crack, causes this physical withdrawal where you're in a corner sweating like Pookie on New Jack City. It's not true. I'm telling you right now, when I went to rehab, I was doing at least a ball a day. At least. That's 3.5 grams. It's a lot of fucking coke to do in a day. Okay, unless you're fucking El Chapo or somebody. And I went to rehab and I got detoxed for alcohol. They didn't even, the only time the cocaine addiction was even addressed in rehab, it was not addressed medically, except for maybe, you know, they put me on Celexa or whatever, which is an antidepressant. If you come off any drugs, you know, even cocaine and shit, they'll put you on that just to ward off the depression because that'll make you use again. But the only time my coke addiction was even addressed was in groups. You know what I mean? They didn't address that medically. There was nothing they had to do for me as far as that. They just gave me Librium for alcohol withdrawal. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, Miss Campion. Paulie Walnuts, 1999. When you kicked yourself off StreamYard, the other side will say that's where what you were doing. My bad, bro. It was a bad taste and a joke on my. Oh, you mean, yeah? Paulie Walnuts asked if I just did a bump. I'm like, what is he talking about? Now I understand. Yeah, of course, Paulie Walnuts. Yeah, you're just predicting the type of shit they'll do. That's why you see how careful I gotta be now. I gotta everything I say. I gotta be like, well, maybe was it vodka? Was it? I don't remember. I don't. It was 20 fucking years ago. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with the bridge and the dreams. I just know it was a bridge. I don't remember, you know, but I got to be so careful now because one time I said I was 6 or I was 7 or 8 when my dad used to, you know, show me these places in New York. And then apparently one time said I was 5 or 6, 5 or 6 once, 7 or 8 another time. And now it's a fucking federal case. You know what I mean? It's a, it's a major issue on Mob 2. It's amazing. So I got to be so careful from now on. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's fucking nuts, man. Ryan, being serious, I'm sorry if I. Oh, I read that one. My bad. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. A story of Greeks until it's not anymore. Yeah, it's true. Addiction to money is real. Used to sell pills for years in college. Oh my God. I've always said, Ryan, the fucking money. Selling drugs can be just as addicting, if not more addicting, than doing them. It's a lifestyle most people will never experience. Even if you're low level, I was a low level drug dealer. I would get a couple of ounces a week, but I could make $3,000 easily. You know what I mean? In a week, cash, tax free, just, you know what I'm saying? And usually it was a lot more than that. But I'm saying minimum $3,000 in a fucking week. And it doesn't even matter. Like say you still got a bunch of coke left, but you got a good bit of money back. Now you go shopping. While you're shopping, you spend a G. But you still got at least a G in cash, or you have it saved, whatever. You know what you do? You go buy another ounce. Okay, and now you just printed money. You just printed yourself another at least $1,800 off that 1 ounce. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty fucking amazing. It's pretty amazing, bro. Or you might go out and spend a lot of money, and on the way home you get a couple of phone calls. You make some stops, and boom, you got your money back. It's a license to print money, and it's a constant adrenaline rush, and it's fun to some extent. Plus, there's a thrill, not just aside from the adrenaline rush of making the deliveries and stuff. There's a thrill of always being kind of on the run. You know what I mean? Knowing that you can get knocked at any minute or get killed or robbed, whatever. It's a sick thing, but it's very addictive. Miss Can't Be Wrong, such a loyal and beautiful person. How do we tip her loyal work? Outstanding. Oh, Miss Can't Be Wrong will be glad to drop her Cash App. I believe it's $MCBW. I know she probably already answered that. I'm behind in the chat. Tony the Featherjaw Pizza Super Flyweight. Tony Pizza is going mad right now. He's blocked Johnny Mac and took his wrench. Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. And guys, too, like, Miss Can't Be Wrong is the only person I would allow to do that in here. Unless we're raising money for somebody, it's the only person I would allow to come in and drop her Cash App. And actually, I'd encourage people to donate. And that's because if you guys have been here for any extended period of time, you know that Miss Can't Be Wrong runs the show in this chat. And not just like, regular wrench duties, blocking people and shit. There's all types of that. Miss Can't Be Wrong will email me throughout the day and let me know shit. Not bullshit stuff, but stuff that she thinks I need to know. Now she texts me and stuff during the show to let me know if I'm missing anything in the live chat, because StreamYard doesn't show me everything. So Miss Can't Be Wrong isn't just in here hanging out. She's working her ass off. So she deserves it. Miss Can't Be Wrong. I couldn't have been an alcoholic. All it ever did was make me pee. Didn't matter. Beer or hard liquor. Hated that. Well, there's a saying that you can't buy beer. You can only rent it. You know what I mean? Beer is the same for me. I had such a high tolerance. Like on Sundays in this fucking state, back then on Sundays, there was no liquor stores open because all the liquor stores here are state stores. They're controlled by the Liquor Control Board. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not independent businesses and shit. So you couldn't buy liquor on Sunday, and I would have to buy beer. And I'm telling you right now, there was not a point in a Sunday, even if I was drinking 2 cases, that I even got a buzz, because my tolerance was so high that by the time I actually had enough alcohol in me to feel anything, I already pissed half of it out. So yeah, beer never did anything for me. Good point, Miss Can't Be Wrong. But he's just letting us know. I'm not mad at him. Hervaven Gill. I'm a nighttime person and my schedule is always opposite than most people. I can't sleep at night ever. Seeing if I stay up all day. Oh, I'm sorry. God, I read it wrong. Jesus Christ. I'm not a nighttime person, and my schedule is always opposite than most people. I can't sleep at night ever, even if I stay up all day. I used to drink myself to sleep at night to have a normal schedule. Oh, my God. Yeah. A lot of people do. I think that's one of the biggest reasons for alcoholism. You know what I'm saying? I had severe insomnia my whole life, and I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I had severe insomnia since I was a little boy. I would go to school every goddamn day on an hour or 2 sleep. You know what I mean? It was a fucking nightmare. I could never sleep at night throughout my whole youth and my whole adult life. I would struggle just to get a few hours sleep. I could nap like in the daytime, but at night I couldn't sleep. And that's why even now when I was in rehab, they put me on gabapentin and trazodone. And that combination, Let me tell you guys, if any of you are having trouble sleeping, talk to your doctor about it, because I now go to sleep, or I'll lay down, right? I could lay in bed for 10 minutes or 3 hours before I'm ready to actually go to sleep. As soon as I'm ready to go to sleep, I take my trazodone and gabapentin, and within 10 fucking minutes of me closing my eyes, I'm out like a light. Now, my current issue lately is like last night. I fucking, well, I shouldn't say last night. I went to bed at 5 in the morning, but I wake up like every 2 hours, sometimes every hour, and I'm up for 10, 15 minutes. So now I got to address that, but it's better than what I used to deal with. Let me see something. The seizure from alcohol withdrawal is something I embrace. The fear of it helps keep me away from booze. Bro, you ain't joking, man. You ain't joking. I mean, there were so many times that if I didn't get medical treatment, if I hadn't have gotten medical treatment right away, I would have had seizures. But there was the time that I did, and it was, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even know how to describe it. The seizure, I obviously don't even remember, but I'm talking about the incident itself. Like, I had gone to a friend's house to quit drinking. My girlfriend at the time, who later became my daughter's mom, told me, if you don't stop drinking, whatever, which I understood. So I decided, okay, well, I don't want to lose her, so I'm gonna quit drinking. So I decided to go to a friend's house where there's no alcohol. He did not drink alcohol at all. He didn't do any drugs. I figured I'm going to go there to quit drinking. I'm just going to have him, make sure I don't leave or do anything stupid. So I went there, and I was in his spare room or whatever. There was a bed in there. Now, all night this went on for 12 hours. For 12 hours, he's giving me cups of water, big cups of water with a straw. And I'm, like this, and I'm spilling the water all over the place. I'm dry heaving. I'm throwing up everything I have in me in the fucking sink. It was a rough night. It was some of the worst pain I've ever felt. And then I'm laying on the bed, and my mom comes to check on me, and she comes over, and she's sitting on the side of the bed talking to me. And next thing I knew, I was in an ambulance. And they said that while my mom was talking to me, I just started having a seizure. And they called the ambulance. This is how long I was having that seizure. The ambulance got there. I guess I came out of the seizure, whatever. And they said I literally ran out of the apartment onto the ambulance. There's no bullshit. My mom could tell you the fucking story. And they didn't know what the fuck was making me do that. Well, when we got to the hospital, my heart rate was so high that they could not get it under 164 beats a minute. Okay. Which is probably why I jumped up like a fucking, rocket ship and ran out of the apartment and into the ambulance. But yeah, after that seizure, they could not get my heart rate down. So they had to snow me with Ativan, 64 fucking milligrams of Ativan it took to put me in a coma. I stayed in that coma for 7 days. I came out of it. I was in the hospital a few more days, but at one point, I was going through the DTs, delirium tremors, and I was hallucinating. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and I would see fucking shadow people and stuff, and I thought they were coming to kill me. That's what DTs are like. You think you got bugs crawling on you. There's been movies made about it. Check out the movie from the 50s. It's called The Lost Weekend. I think it was the 50s. You'll see what DTs are like, okay? And I was seeing these shadow people one night, and I fucking kicked as hard as I could, and it was a nurse. The lights were off in the fucking room, and I kicked the nurse. She was just straightening out the bed or whatever she was doing, and that was it. They wanted to commit me. They were going to commit me to the psych ward because the DTs were so bad, and my mom fucking begged them not to. So what they did is they strapped me down, arms and feet, hands and feet. They strapped me down. For the duration of my stay, which is terrible too. But it's funny how quickly you have, your muscle atrophy or whatever. Like I would When I left there, I couldn't walk. I mean, I could, but I didn't have much strength. I had to walk with a cane for quite a while after that. It's weird how quickly you lose the muscle in your legs and shit. Oh my God, Miss can't be wrong. It was, but I guess like the last day, I think, or something. I forget when it was during the stay. It might have been right at the very end. I don't remember, but I would have to ask my mom the exact time frame. But at one point, I was I was free in the bed, and but I was hallucinating. But I had all my friends in my room. Like, let me tell you something. That guy Cam in the rap videos I play sometimes. That dude, other than my mother, was the first person when I woke. When I woke up in the hospital, he was the first person I saw. Him and a bunch of our fucking friends were in that room. They were by my bedside almost the entire time. That's how tight we were. Right? We still talk about that sometimes from time to time. And my daughter's mom, of course, was there and shit like that. But my friend, a friend of mine, one of my best friends from back then, he said that I was up. I guess they gave me spaghetti. You know what I mean? And whatever, it's some hospital meal, and it was spaghetti. And they said that I was eating it. And I said something to. Now, this is right after I picked up the phone and tried to change the channel on the TV with it because I was hallucinating. I didn't. But they said that I was eating the spaghetti and saying, better than the Olive Garden or some weird shit, like, which is odd because I didn't even eat at the Olive Garden. It was fucking weird. But they said that's what I was doing while I was eating the spaghetti. I was hallucinating everything. I was just, it's fucking weird. The shit you go through. I mean, I can't imagine there's anything worse than that fucking alcohol withdrawal, man. As far as, drug withdrawal and shit, I just can't. Casey Robinson, withdrawal after 2 days, I began hallucinating, seeing people who died, body parts, my fever hit, I dropped. I woke up in the hospital. They infused me with thiamine 3 times a day for tremors. Yeah, bro, that's what they have to do, man. I had banana bags, you know what I mean? Like that, because I was so malnourished. I was 112 pounds, guys, at 5'9". You know what I'm saying? 112 pounds. And I hadn't eaten for weeks. All I did was drink hard liquor. And they had all that shit, man. They were infusing me with all that shit. I had 9, swearing everything I love. I had 9 IVs at once. My one vein in my hand blew up to like this big. It took months for it to go back down. 9 fucking IVs in me. Yep. On Casey Robinson, while you're here, that video with Johnny Mac's hat, that was fucking hilarious, bro. That was hilarious. Guys, if you want to listen, go to Casey Robinson. Go subscribe to his channel. That fucking video. He takes a hat exactly like Johnny Mac's dumb NY hat, and he fucking takes it out back in the snow, and he fucking burns it. But it's hilarious though, because like all the snow is burning, but like the hat isn't. It's so fucking funny. Gunsmoke called me and told me about it today. I'm like, word? Just send me the link. Oh, we were cracking up. That shit is funny, man. Your most start to atrophy did with my back. I had to learn to walk again. Yeah, man, it's bad. I had to walk with a cane. I mean, just to get out of they wheeled me out of the hospital, but just to come home and stuff. I still remember coming home, and as far as like the tremors, the shakes and shit. Guys, I went into outpatient. I was an outpatient for whatever you go in outpatient for, 6 weeks, something like that. I went 3 days a week, 4 hours a day. Okay. And every time at the end, you have to sign, showing that you were there for insurance reasons or whatever. And that entire 6 weeks, my hand was the tremors were still so bad from withdrawal. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm all stuffed up. I'm on antibiotics finally, but it's not making this fucking sinus infection go away yet. So I would try to sign and my hand was bouncing off of the paper. The shakes were so fucking bad. And I'd get so frustrated that finally the drug and alcohol counselor took some pity on me and said, just draw a line, do anything. I think for a while there, she was actually signing it for me. But at times I would just try to draw a line, and that was my signature. Guys, anybody who doesn't understand alcohol withdrawal, watch The Lost Weekend or a more modern flick that I think is just better, Leaving Las Vegas with Nicolas Cage and Elizabeth Shue. Watch that movie. I don't care who you are. You'd like that movie. It's the best depiction of what a severe alcoholic goes through on a daily basis, what their life is like, and what the tremors and the shakes and the fucking the DTs and all that shit, what that's actually like. You know what I'm saying? It's and just his life. You know what I mean? Nicolas Cage's life in that movie. It's so fucking relatable for anybody who's been there. You know what I'm saying? Excellent movie, and I think I'll tell you what, this is how badly I want you guys to see it. I think it might be it's free. I just saw it 2 nights ago on either Netflix. Well, Netflix probably doesn't have it because it's a good movie, and Netflix doesn't have those. No bullshit. I've spent more time looking for a movie to watch on Netflix than it actually took to watch the movie. Let me see. It's probably not there. It's probably Amazon Prime. Yeah, it's not here. Let me check Prime Video. You guys got to check this out, man, if you haven't seen it. Leaving Las Vegas. Yeah, it's free. If you have Prime, it's free. Check that out. Fucking movie's fantastic, man. I watched that with Shanna one time. She was like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, Shanna had her little struggles with addiction. She was never severely addicted to anything. She was functional her whole life. But she never, other than in the rehabs and detox and shit, like she never actually sat back and watched what that's like. She worked in these rehabs and stuff where they would immediately medicate people. They didn't get to actually see what their daily life was like. And it's that bad. Where the Crawdads Sing, it's a chick flick, kind of, but you might like it. All right, I'll tell her. She's gonna be home early tonight, so maybe we'll watch it. Flight was good with Denzel Washington, yeah. Johnny Max, cheap New York hat. You are a savior. Thank you, Johnny Max, cheap New York hat. Hate when I think I found a good gangster movie show on Netflix, then it ends up being Spanish or French. LOL. Me too. It just happened to me the other night. I was all excited. I made my food. I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch this. Sure enough, fucking Spanish. And I ain't fucking with subtitles. If you ain't speaking English in the movie, I don't want to fucking hear it. Shanna probably saw it already, though. Possibly. I don't know. Anyway, guys, all right, listen. I'm going to shut it down for now. I'll be back tonight. We'll talk about more of that hate and shit and stuff later. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be out of here for now because it's still a little bit light out. You know what I mean? I want to go out and do my shit and kind of feel like I'm out during the daytime. Because it feels like I'm only out at night anymore. So thank you guys for everything. I appreciate you very much just for joining the stream. You understand? Gabish? So listen. I'll be back on tonight, like I said, most likely 10, maybe a little earlier. No, probably not a little earlier, but who knows? I appreciate everything. Just you guys being here with me, talking to each other, helping each other out means the world to me and all of you, I'm sure. The people who donated, I never ask for donations on these shows, but certainly not going to turn them down. Thank you very much for those. Ritzy, you're the man, bro. All you guys are. Thank you for everything. Now, take down these numbers: National Addiction Hotline and the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Write them down. Put them on your fridge. Put them in your pocket, your wallet, your man purse, your fanny pack. Shove them in your bra if you want. If you're a kangaroo, put them in your pouch. Just keep them close by. Always have them with you, just in case. You never know. You might be on the verge of relapse or, God forbid, suicide. Okay? And these numbers can come in handy. Trust me. They can help you. And always remember, guys, always remember, no matter how bad you are in your addiction, this country has resources. Every single state has resources. If you are severely addicted and you think you can't get into rehab because you don't have money or you don't have insurance, you are absolutely wrong. I don't care where you are in America. There's all types of programs. There's funding available to get you into a facility within the same day. In most cases, they'll even pick you up and drive you to the rehab. So, in Pennsylvania, it's crisis intervention. I don't know what it is in your states. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's different. But there's some equivalent of that in every other state. Okay? So if you ever need to, or if you're ready to finally go to rehab, or just go detox, just look it up, Google it. It's easy. You know what I mean? Help with drug and alcohol rehab in my area. Government funding for whatever. And if you have just like a crisis intervention, call them and they'll do all that for you. They'll do that. They'll take care of all that shit within a couple of hours and they'll have you in a facility most likely that same day. You ain't got to worry about money or none of that. You might not wind up where I wound up, in a fucking luxury rehab, but you'll go somewhere. And anything's better than active addiction. Even jail, believe it or not. So keep that in mind always. DZ, $5. Thank you for helping and sharing with us. We have become a community and a fucking phenomenal community that I wouldn't trade for the fucking world. DZ, for the world. Thank you for the $5. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you all. And until next time, salute.